Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sustainepreneur Podcast, episode 23, where we discuss how veterans not only have what it takes to be sustainepreneurs, they're custom built for it. If you're a veteran or in love with one, you're not going to want to miss this one, so stick around.
Welcome back to another episode of Sustainepreneur Podcast, where we are bridging the gap between business and sustainability. We want to educate and motivate sustainepreneurs by discussing important topics, debating different perspectives, and by showcasing those of you out there who are doing it right now. I'm your host, Nate Hansen, and we're glad to have you with us. So let's get started.
Why do we join the military? Some join for education benefits, some for a lack of better options, and some do it simply for a sense of honor. For me, I joined because 9/11 happened right after I graduated high school, and I was full of piss and vinegar and looking for a cause, a purpose, if you will. And against all reasonable advice from some very close Vietnam vet friends of mine, I enlisted in the United States Seabees, and over the course of the next 5 years, had a hell of an experience. I saw Iraq, Afghanistan, Japan, and much of the rest of the world. But I not only took part in war, but also humanitarian and disaster relief work. Regardless of our differing reasons for signing up, we all had a basic understanding of the possibility of going to war and facing death in servitude to our country. Now, many vets I know, including myself, now persist to question the true agenda of the people we served under, sometimes way under, but we still hold that we served with purpose and pure intentions, that we could only hope we were doing it to protect our loved ones back home and to preserve the freedoms we sometimes took for granted as civilians. But ultimately, we're just a tool. The decisions were left to the voting power of those same loved ones that we fight to protect and those that they had elected to office in order to make those decisions. So it's kind of a continuous circle. But there is one commonality, though, and that's that we all end up taking pride in the fact that we served and we share a closer bond even upon just meeting one another for the first time by simply knowing that we were once brothers and sisters in arms. That bond cannot be duplicated by anything else that I've found. I mean, it can easily go south from there, just like any other relationship, but it always starts a bit north of being mere acquaintances. So, what does that have to do with why I've called you here today? Well, because once we have served, we are different in nature. We know what it's like to be a part of something that's greater than ourselves. And when we come back, some of us even have a hard time transitioning to a civilian way of life after having taken part in such a cause. The ones who end up doing best are the ones who find new purpose, but it's typically still something that serves some greater cause. And there is no other world better suited for veterans than the business world. To put it mildly, we know what the suck is like, and we can handle it. Some of us even revel in it. And in the words of a good friend of mine, Sam Redfern of United States of Hope, business is the new battlefield. And if you're looking for a cause, there's never been a better time to get into business, because the very future of industry will depend on what kind of a positive impact you have on society, the environment, and your local communities. It'll go way beyond the products and services you provide. In fact, it'll be expected, almost as if an additional feature. Now, I love my vets, and up until this point, I believe that we have gone untapped in our current society as to the potential that we hold to make this country what it could be. Like many other major conflicts before, military service has produced some of the most productive captains of industry, and OIF and OEF vets are primed to take their turn at bat. The industry I'm calling on you to take part in is one built on creating positive impact in the world, to earn a living by doing what's right. I mean, you've already taken the oath to serve your country. Why not continue doing it through business? Because businesses of the future won't be able to compete without it. And you already have the skills to make it happen. So if you're interested in moving forward, email me directly at nathan@reindustries.org and we'll get the conversation started. There are many others like you out there doing it right now. And we don't need to go it alone. Veteran or no veteran, we can still serve our country the way we intended to. Only this time, we dictate our own mission.
That concludes our episode for today. As always, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, share, rate, and subscribe. And we'll see you all again next time on Sustainepreneur Podcast, where we are bridging the gap between business and sustainability.